The following program is sponsored by PokerStars.net. Last night, on the big game, a man named Viffer took control of things early.
Any kings will do, but two of them are better.
And increased his stack the rest of the night.
I am so outclassed here.
The loose cannon tried to prove he belongs.
I grind harder than you guys do, trust me.
But made a misstep versus Barry that put him in an early hole.
Nice hand.
See if Troy can recover and continue his quest for riches on the big game.
Now we're playing some poker.
This is the PokerStars.net Big Game.
Welcome to Las Vegas and the biggest game in town. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose, where tonight some of the world's best poker players continue to battle it out in our state-of-the-art poker room with $800,000 in play at this table.
The millionaire entrepreneur Rick Rahim is playing a lot of pots, but no positive results yet. He's down $23,000.
Chau Giang, three-time bracelet winner. He's struggling, hasn't won a pot so far.
Poker legend Barry Greenstein started off slow, but picked things up towards the end. He's up $22,000.
David Viffer Peat had an outstanding evening last night. He is up almost $67K.
Troy Howard is the loose cannon who's been staked $100,000 to play. He's a 29-year-old music producer from Niagara Falls, New York, who's been playing Hold'em for over 10 years. So far, he's down over $24,000.
And tonight's final player is the magician, Antonio Esfandiari, who is stuck over $25K. He is standing by with Amanda Leatherman.
All right, Antonio, what are your first impressions of Troy, the loose cannon? What do you think?
I think he plays better than I thought or had hoped.
Yeah?
He seems pretty confident, but he decided to take a bad hand and try and run over the table with A7. So, people not with a lot of experience tend to do that. They tend, I'm going to go for a bluff right now, whereas a more experienced player will wait for the right time to make a move like that.
Right. And I have another question for you.
Sure.
Why no shoes? This guy never wears shoes.
First of all, I like it when my feet breathe,
Yeah.
They're more comfortable. And I do have shoes, they're just underneath the table. We were on break, so I walked around a little bit. So.
I never see him in shoes. Anyway, get back to it.
All right.
Each loose cannon is staked $100,000 to play and keeps all money above the initial $100,000. And the loose cannon who's won the most money at season's end earns that North American Poker Tour passport worth $50K.
Troy's chasing Nadia Magnus for that passport, who is currently the leading loose cannon at over $63,000 in winnings, but he's probably looking to get positive before he sets his sights on her. We get back underway with hand number 30.
How about a live straddle? You want to re-straddle for 16?
What's that?
You want to re-straddle for 16?
I already looked.
Oh, that's a convenient excuse.
All right, well, I'll restraddle then.
That is not a restraddle. It is a min raise to 1,600.
You have to wonder if Troy raised because he liked his hand or because Rahim talked him into it.
Viffer calls. Action folds over to Chau Giang. Ace Queen.
On time, gamble. Let's go. Gonna take it 16.
Chau just calls. Pocket jacks for Rick.
I'm going to raise the max. So I'm going to call the 16. All right? Make that 16, and then I'm going to pot it.
Raised to 8,800.
8,800 on top?
72 more.
Okay, 72. 72. Now, it's not this bet you should fear. It's the bet on the flop. Is that a tell?
Rahim's reputation as a maniac should garner him some action here.
Let's kick it up a notch.
The loose cannon calls.
With the straddle on and the two least experienced players at the table, 10-8 suited looks like two aces to Viffer.
I just need two double ups.
You just need two double ups?
That's it.
What if I felt you?
That's not a double up.
Oh, we got a pot.
Viffer calls. Chau folds.
We got a pot. Good luck, Troy. Good luck, Rick.
Rooting for Troy.
Not rooting for you, Viv.
I'm about to, I think.
Yeah, you probably are.
Troy just called off 10% of his stack with ace-9.
Deuce 4 queen.
I'm going to bet
Rahim's jack still good.
20,000.
Rahim bets 20 grand.
Chau Giang folded the only hand with a legit chance of running down two jacks, and he would have caught up on the flop.
Howard folds.
There was no king on the flop, so I know I'm good this time. Any king I was folding.
Should be more worried about the 4.
Oh, I can beat a 4. I hope you have a 4, and I hope you call with it.
If I had a 4, I'd probably call.
Nice.
And Rick finally takes one from Viffer.
2-7, is it on?
2-7's good too.
Do 7 had me beat.
Nice hand, Rick.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Eric.
Horrible hand. Very horribly played.
Rick's needling may have contributed to Troy's pre-flop call, and now it's almost certainly contributing to Troy's tilt.
Well, here are the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit, then no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante. The player on the button will ante up for the entire table. Each player begins with at least 100 grand, but can reload for up to 500,000.
All right, y'all. It's me and your turn. We got to get in there and fight.
Trying to win the first pot, buddy.
I've been throwing jabs out there. You know, you got to get a feel before you...
So far, Troy's done a little more than $33,000 worth of jabbing. Let's hope he'll have enough strength left for the haymaker.
Barry folds. Antonio as well. Ace-6 for Chau.
I'm trying to win the first pot. Can do.
Raises to 1,500. Queen-6 suited on the button for Rick.
Chau's got Rick dominated.
I haven't played a pot with you yet.
No.
If I call, will you play nice?
It depends what the flop comes.
Okay, I promise you have the best hand.
Rick calls. The loose cannon folds. Viffer's in.
You have the best hand?
Yeah, what you said.
I don't know. Let's see.
I just called you because of position. Not because I think I can outplay you or anything.
8-10, 4, 2 diamonds on the flop.
Top pair and a flush draw. Viffer's flopped the World's Fair.
You
Bets
are right.
2,500. Chau folds.
That, boys and girls, is a lesson on how to waste 1,500 bucks.
I tell you how to win the pot around here.
The Vifster. It's so weird when they call you David, you know?
The question is, does anybody else look like one?
I feel sorry for him if they
David
do.
Peat. You actually do look like a David Peat.
A David Peat?
Don't look like a David. Throwing the Pete part, I agree, you know?
David Peat does not have 2 first names. He spells it P-E-A-T.
Suited connectors for Chau Giang.
Well, try again.
One more time. 3rd time's the charm. Oh, wait, it's 2.
Raises to 1,500.
I should have tried last time.
Rick folds. 10-4 suited for the loose cannon. Folds. King-Jack for Viffer.
All right, Barry.
I can give it a Chau.
Folds.
He's my buddy. I'm gonna let him have it.
Here you go, the first pot.
Chau wins.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, let's see the hand,
Play
Chau.
empty.
Show us the hand.
He's too strong. He is too strong.
I don't know, 2 in a row?
So on hand 34, Chau finally breaks through to win his first pot. If you want to try and break through and appear on the big game as a loose cannon, simply log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. We're coming back with more after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas, where the big game has been treating Viffer very nicely so far. It's a feeling he's gotten used to whenever he hits the Vegas Strip.
My name is David Peat, known in the poker world as Viffer. I feel very lucky that I happen to be good at a game that allows me to make money. I mean, it's a great lifestyle. When I first moved out to Vegas, I came out here to play poker. I was very conservative, and as I started to make more money, I started to go out. Got introduced to the Vegas nightlife, which is great here, and you have a lot of fun. If you have money in Vegas, you get the best tables, you get a lot of publicity at the clubs. They make you look important, they make you feel good. There's been nights, you know, where we've spent more than some people make in a year. A lot of times it's an event. It's a lot of fun.
To be honest, a round of drinks at your typical Vegas nightclub costs more than most people make in a year.
Good point.
He straddled 8, right? So I can go 16.
Little bookkeeping to take care of. Chau Giang straddled to 800. Rick Rahim re-straddled to 1,600. So action on the loose cannon. Who folds? Viffer, 9-8 suited. Calls.
Suited connectors on the button look pretty good in a juiced up pot.
Barry calls. Antonio's out. Chau King deuce. He was the original straddler.
Chau.
Play nice. Don't get greedy.
Chau.
Do not get greedy.
Okay.
Chau
I know what
calls.
he says.
Rahim, ace 4. Checks.
Not as nice as last time. Still a pretty strong hand, though. I mean, if you're gonna straddle, you want cards like I got.
4 to the flop. Tray king, trip kings for Chau.
I'd most certainly want to have the cards Chau's got. He's basically flopped the entire table dead.
Barry bets 3,000 with his 3s.
Barry might think his pair of 3s is the best hand.
Chau just calls. Rick folds.
If I had a king, I would have raised.
And Viffer's out.
There aren't really any draws in this flop, so once Chau calls, Barry's spidey sense is probably tingling.
Really, that would have been the right raise, too.
The turn, 10 of hearts. Barry checks. Chau checks.
Chau's hoping to rope Barry in any way he can.
4 on the river.